Hey, hey, hey! Welcome to the playground. Hello, everybody. We're all still out there just making wonderful things happen. I'm so excited today. This is a wonderful conversation we're going to have today. Something so different for you people. So different. And that's what I love about life. Life doesn't have to be the same. It doesn't have to be, oh my gosh, this feels the same. We don't have to go through days and weeks and months of decades of that. We can always be learning, growing, thriving. And that's why positive living is so important. When you add things to your menu, add things every day that feel good, and we remove things that we don't like. And today, I'm going to expand your mind. I'm going to expand your body. I'm going to expand your energy. I'm going to show you what it's like to be just like a superhero. And I've got an amazing superwoman, Denise Cambiotti. She's on with me, and she's in Canada. And I came across her from a mutual Facebook group that we're in, and she had all this wonderful dialogue about, I'm going to let her tell you what she does. All this wonderful dialogue about this type of stuff that she does. I'm like, OMG, that's what I want to learn. And so, as you guys know me, I'm always looking for new modalities and new tools and resources to help elevate my life and keep me, even though I'm 50 something plus, 55, I feel like I'm 15. So, how do we do that? How do we maintain this positivity, this attitude, this uh, bliss, this health, this prosperity? How do we do all that? Well, we have to learn things because if you're not growing, you're dying. And Denise is an expert at helping people. So, Denise is so happy to have you on. I want to have you kind of share your story, what you do, and I love your little outfit there. I like the that pump. You got the pump going. You got the pump going. So, everybody, this is Denise, and Denise kind of shares with you maybe a little bit about your backstory, how you got involved in doing what you're doing, and we'll just kind of go from there. Good to see you.
Oh, Tony, thanks for having me on. This is so exciting because I've been listening to your podcasts and I love how you have big concepts. You have a big mission and you make it simple. So that's a thing I love to do as well. So we're siblings from a different mother, really, in
We
that
definitely are.
aspect.
Absolutely.
And let's see, what's about me? I'm just some chick up here in Canada, near Vancouver, British Columbia, and I'm founder of Muscle Tuners International. Woohoo! So there's my creds. And 5 years ago, decided we needed to get this thing called muscle testing out there. It's been out there. Hundreds of thousands of people worldwide have learned muscle testing. A lot of them don't understand a lot of the science behind it, and it doesn't have to be long or tricky. And the other thing is we just wanted to make it accessible and easy to learn because my learning path took 25 years. So I want to
Wow.
make it a little faster than that for people and make it closer to 25 hours and make it convenient. So I'm a course creator and I'm a mentor and I am the instructor of a system called muscle tuning. And I license people to be muscle tuner specialists. So woohoo.
I
Now
like it.
there's three things I want the people in the world to know is your body is electrical, right?
Yes.
Takes your brain to send electrical signal to tell your muscles to contract and relax. But because you're electrical, you've got reset switches, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh-huh. So if you know where the reset switches are and you take care of resetting muscles from head to foot, guess what happens in your life?
Beautiful harmony, balance, circuits on, firing away, feeling amazing.
Yeah. So people reach a greater potential. They
Yeah.
do it faster.
Yeah.
They have less pain, greater strength and flexibility. And that's my claim to fame is to make that happen and to make it last longer than some other therapies might. Because some
Mm.
other therapies, as great as they are, and I love everything, I'm not dishing on anything. The thing is, sometimes they don't have the secret ingredient of how to hack the nervous system. When you do that, then the brain goes, oh, there, that feels better. And you'll maintain the outcome that you're looking for in whatever the therapy you're doing, rehabilitative program, fitness program, you go to massage to release pain. It just blends with everything. And I'm a bit of a nut bar for bringing this. I cannot believe not everybody in the world doesn't do a little bit of muscle tuning every day in their lives to make their day better. So that's me in a nutshell. And I
No,
got here. The backstory is I walk into a chiropractor's office one day because I had a really bad neck pain. And I finally figured out that taking a pain reliever every day for about a year, multiple times a day, wasn't working.
Mm-hmm.
And he did this thing, his assistant did this thing called muscle testing. And he did a thing and then rechecked all the muscles that were all floppy before. And I was like, oh, come on, you can do it. Come on. I didn't know what the heck was going on. And at the end, after he did his chiropractic correction, I felt like strong like bull. Every muscle he checked was like locking, like he could push, and I was there. And I said to myself, this is what I want to do when I grow up. And I found out you don't have to be a chiropractor, and you do not have to manipulate and crack on bones. You don't have to do any of that stuff if you know where the magic buttons are in the body.
That's awesome. You know, it's crazy. Since you and I have talked, something weird popped up on my radar, and it was something that you're talking about. And I know you'll explain kind of more in detail how it works, but he was literally talking about a pain that you have in your left hand, and it's attached to a circuit, like what you're talking about, right? So it's this wiring that's attached to something else. There's a yin and there's a balance somewhere else. And so in order to fix this hand, the pain here, he was working on this hand, which is the
Yep.
opposite. So can you explain how that works? Because a lot of people will go, oh my gosh, my neck hurts. And they spend all their energy like working in this part of this neck. And, it might feel good for a moment. And then they get back out and doing things, all of a sudden, God, there's that neck again. Or maybe it's moved or whatever the case may be. So can you explain that when we talk about that balance and harmony and how the body, the technology in the body is so massive, how it's able
Yes.
to, we have these balances and things like that you do with muscle testing. So can you explain how that works? Because it's not always what we think it is it?
Oh my goodness, you really want to set me up as a product or program or whatever content expert. And guess what? I know somebody that's teaching a program like that. Says if this isn't working, you
Yeah.
wave this part of your body and you do it a certain number of times a certain way, and all of a sudden this starts to work. And I've had a chat with somebody doing that, and they don't know why it's happening. So I started checking around with some of my mentors and my friends, and I'm going, so where is the report? Because I suspect I know what's going on. And they went, oh, check this and check that. So I'm forwarding that information on to those people. And one of the potentials could be mirror neurons.
Mm.
So you have like look in a mirror and you see exactly everything. It's just flipped, right? So that's a possibility. Other possibilities truly are that you have an energy circuit that's blocked. So I work not just with muscles. Well, correct. I don't work just with muscles. Muscles are attached to bones through their tendons. And where bones connect to each other, there's ligaments. So there's this whole complex of things that happen. And if one area is annoyed, it sends this signal, this fire alarm signal through the whole system. And a lot of people just want to bury their head under the pillow and say, stop the noise. Other ones are running around like crazy going, where's the fire? What's happening? So the body reacts on one side, regardless of what's happened on the other side. Even if it's chill, it's chill. If it's not, the other side's probably not happy. And that possibly happens not only through the neurons, but also through the meridian system of the body. So we work with meridians a lot. We don't teach a lot of meridian therapy because I'm sort of like, keep it simple. Plug in the toaster and make toast. Hey, we get to sit down with toast. Even the scientists are arguing how electricity is made. And I just don't put up with any of that. I just go, the technology is there. Let's use it. And so did I answer your question? Is yes, the body is complex. It could be about mirror neurons. It could be because of the meridian system. There are postural and dynamic reflexes in the body. When a reflex is switched off, things switch off. And it's not until you wiggle this reflex by doing a specific movement or doing an activity, bang, reflex, reset, and electricity and messages flow. It's literally like turning on a light switch.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is that simple.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've talked about how we have, our issues are in our tissues. So how much of potentially these, and I want to say blockages, but if there's another word, I know you like to keep everything simple, and I do too. But let's say there's a blockage of something. How much of this energy is caused from emotional stuff? Is it all because of physical things when somebody goes, "Oh my God, my neck hurts," or why is my back sore, or how come I can't move my fingers, or like what is it generally when somebody comes and sees you and they've got this challenge going on? Is it physical generally, or is there a lot of emotional release that happens to create this open circuit? I know you do physical movements, but what
Yeah.
what do you normally see?
Well, let's say people come in and they go, I just practically dying here. I can't move or whatever. Maybe
Hmm.
they've been in a car accident. Something violent has happened to them. That's very much on the physical level. However, while that's happening on the physical level, everybody's had an emotional response to, oh my God, I can't believe that's happened. And I'm so pissed off. I'm frustrated. I missed a cruise. I missed this, because I have to go and heal. Right?
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
get yourself a big whack of some sort, and you have an emotional story going on in your head about how stupid was I for being in that place at that time. Even if it's not your fault, people are having these stories going on in their heads.
Yeah.
Now, other people, for 100% sure, at least 98% of the time, if you got an ache in your body, there's definitely an emotional component.
Mhm.
And I have led an emotional release technique in front of a group once, more than once. But there was this once, it was amazing. This woman's waving her arm, and because I says, anybody, because I'm seeing some funny looks in the audience, right? You've been on
Oh
stage, you
yeah,
know what
oh
that's
yeah.
like. You see like these, what the heck just happened? Anyway, anybody want to share? This woman waves her arm and she goes, my frozen shoulder's gone. And I'm going,
Frozen
gee,
shoulder.
that was like 4 minutes, right? And just general, very basic stuff. And her daughter's going, Mom. And her just like, what? And she says, no, kid you not. I haven't been able to do more than this with this arm. And all of a sudden it's released. And all it was this emotional brick sitting on her shoulder that
Mm.
whatever, I just said, whatever is stressing you out, just think about it. And we're going to do this procedure. And she waved her arm around. And I cannot tell you how often I've seen that be the case. There is a huge chunk of emotion when something doesn't repair right away, when it lingers and it aches and it hangs in there for months or years. There's something emotional in there.
Yeah, I had an instance before I got into this space, kind of like you before I got into this idea of how I can literally like heal myself or figure out how to stay in a state. I had something happen to me. I had a weird little accident with my dog, and I stepped on a rock, really weird, and I hurt my back. And this is years ago, before I kind of understood things like what we're talking about. And every day I'd wake up and I would say to myself, God, my back. Oh my gosh, this back. Oh God, this back. I would tell that story, right? I'd bring all this attention. Hey, no, I don't want to go play golf today, 'cause, I'm still dealing with my back. Years go by, like 2 years goes by, and I'm still like consciously going, I don't know if I want to do that because of my back. And so there's that emotional scar tissue that was causing me to never fully allow this back even to heal, because I kept putting all this energy or this story or whatever because of the situation that happened. So when you say it's emotional, I truly believe that we hang on to things, the car accident from 15 years ago, that's caused us still to have, oh, I got, I say, I have a bad knee or a bad this. And you're able to go in with what you do through the EMT, which is the emotional release technique that you do, right? So you help people do that. At the same time, you do the physical side, which is kind of cool. So you're like a one, you like have something for everybody. Like you'll be able to figure out what's going on with them and be able to apply the best opportunity for them to feel better, correct? Which is what I
Well,
love.
my therapy isn't for everybody. The
Yeah.
thing is it knits in with other therapies that can get at things I cannot. I like to stay in my lane. And I
Hmm.
say, look, if a muscle isn't switching on and staying switched on, and people can't feel confident in moving through their daily life, let me help with that. Let me switch the muscle on. Now they got to go to the gym or physical therapist if it's been switched off for years to rebuild the strength and
Yeah.
get everything going again. But everything's connected to everything else. And I can't tell you how many times I've worked with a shoulder where there's something wrong in a foot muscle. So when you step wrong and you go, eat, and the whole rest of the body goes like that, that's what we do. Because I don't love focusing on, like, if you want to do something dramatic and say, okay, you want to see a change here, I'll work in here and you'll get a change. Will it be durable? Maybe not, unless you look at all the other muscles.
Mm.
Go take a look at the muscles of the lower leg, take a look at the muscles of the hip, and do it the neck. And I've seen some therapists where they go one muscle per session, and I'm going, oh, that's no fun. That's not Tony's world. You got to have some fun. How about we do 25 or 42 muscles, 52 muscles in a single, appointment? And they're going, you're crazy. And I'm going, no, you're not. No, I'm not. Oh, I'm a little different, but no, this is when you tune everything up from head to foot, everything goes, oh, I'm back to factory settings again. Now people feel a lot more confident in going out playing that game of golf because this work, you literally feel your muscles engage. I've been at the gym with people and they're doing the lat pull downs and I'm going, what are you feeling? And they're going, I'm just doing the movement.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, let's tune up the latissimus dorsi and do the exercise again. And they go, oh, I can feel that muscle back there. I can feel it. I own it again. And so that's part of why I'm passionate, because it reconnects people to themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that you're passionate, and I know that you like to have, we've talked offline about you keep everything simple and fun, so I think it's just beautiful that you have something that you're passionate about. A lot of people just kind of do things to do things, but I know that it helped you, and you said, I want to help people. Now, can somebody like me or somebody listening to this, can somebody like learn something? Because the only muscle testing that I'm familiar with, and there might be some people out there, if you go to we have these state fairs in the United States, and you'll always have somebody that's got somebody holding on to a Coke can and have their arm out, and they say, okay, I'm going to push down on your arm, and then then they go, okay, here, now hold this magnetic thingamajiggy, and I'm going to push down on that. See how much stronger your left arm is. That's the only knowledge I have of this type of muscle testing. So can somebody learn, and that's probably so much different than what you're doing, but can somebody learn how to work on themselves? Can somebody learn how to, turn circuits on by themselves?
Absolutely. Totally, positively, 100%. And there's just so many different directions to go with that. So first of all, the program we sell called Muscle Tuner Specialist Program, people can apply it on themselves. And I attract a lot of therapists who have been everywhere and they've got a chronic issue. So that seems to be a big chunk of our population, is they're looking to find something to fix themselves that they can write off on their business expenses because they're taking a course. Mm-hmm. Now what they do is they can translate that and share it with other people. And the thing is a lot of the technology, though we teach it on the pre-recorded content, learn at your own pace, shameless plug there. What ends up happening is they can turn around and say, how can I reverse engineer this? And they come to one of our weekly sessions and I go, this is how you use it on yourself. Mm-hmm. So I include mentoring sessions for 6 months. When people buy our program, free mentoring sessions every week. They can pick my brain, turn me inside and out, and they can know how to do this at a mastery level in their clinic and how to apply it on themselves. And so, yes. And so while I have something to share with your group, and it's not our dynamic tissue reset that takes the emotional stress out of the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments, the fascia, and everything in between, the blood supply and then lymphatic supply to and from muscles. Oh, and by the way, did you know that muscles are connected to organs? They literally, this muscle here is connected to an internal organ. This muscle here is connected to an internal organ. And it does, so whatever you do to tune up a muscle, it improves your general wellness.
Well, there we go.
So it's just like, that's another reason why I'm just saying, hey, do you know how old I am? Because Apparently, I don't show my age well. I'm a little
Yeah,
older than you, dear.
yeah. Oh, you don't look
So,
it.
anyways, yeah, I have a technique that anybody can do for themselves. Now, how many people in the world today do you think are stressed?
I'm going to say if there's 7.8 billion people, I'm going to say 7.8 billion people have a degree of stress, some a lot more than others, but let's just say everybody has stress in their life.
Yeah. And even good stress, like planning for a
Yep.
wedding
Yeah.
that you're
Yeah.
you're excited about the wedding, but it's stressing you out on some
Absolutely.
level, right?
Yep.
There's good stress and there's bad stress. And anything that's stress is essentially fires your little your squirrels. What are they called? Hamsters, that little hamster
Hamsters.
wheel
Yeah. Yep.
inside
Yep.
yourself that fire your adrenal glands and you go right. And so you're literally doing that though you're not recognizing you're doing that. So can I share a tip with you and your
Yes.
audience?
Please.
It
Please. Please.
is,
Please.
again, this is not my tip. This is not muscle tuners. But we are blessed to have an agreement with the organization where I learned this from. Some of their technology blends with some of our new technology. And this comes from Touch for Health. So if you're not interested in being a muscle tuner specialist, that's all good with me. But if you do have somebody that's a Touch for Health and person somewhere in your neighborhood, go check them out because it's weird and wonderful. And I've done
Two
this
things I love.
technique,
Two things I love and you love. Weird and wonderful.
weird and wonderful.
I
And
love it.
my coach says, call it unconventional.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Okay, so I did this on an insurance guy. He's a head guy, insurance company, big programs. He's at this wellness fair, very specific, very business. This isn't just people in off the street. And I'm doing my little thing, and I got my little cubicle, and I'm going, "Hey, you stressed out?" He says, "Yeah, just a bit." I'm going, "Good, let me show you something." So I says, "Think of something." He says, "Okay, I'm thinking of a meeting with my team," and he's got his arm out, and I'm like, one finger. His arm cannot resist a gentle 2 seconds of pressure with about 2 pounds of force, like
Wow.
nothing. And he's going, okay. And I says, okay, lay on the massage table. And I just put my fingertips on his emotional release valves, which are right above the colored part of your eye on
Mhm.
the frontal bone. So it's
Okay.
about, halfway between your eyebrow and your natural hairline. So what happens is I'm just sitting at the front of the table, at the head of the table with my fingers on his forehead, and I'm just telling him this thing. Now, everybody in the audience, join me, as long as you're not driving or something. Think of something or recall, let's just recall a past event. Something where you would, like a meeting that was stressful, a conversation that was stressful, whatever it is. Think of something right now. Okay, nod your head. Yep, you got it. Okay, what you're going to do is you're just going to put two fingertips right there in the middle of your forehead above the colored part of your eye. Or you can put a whole palm of your hand across there. So if your one shoulder is bothering you, use the other hand. It doesn't matter. So this is the thing. Super secret ninja trick to make this work is you touch lightly. So think about those blow up pool toys where you blow, 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 and they puff up. And then when you want to let the air out, you have to pinch a valve just a little bit. If you pinch the
Mhm.
valve too much, the air can't come out. So this is exactly the same what we're doing here. So just touch your forehead and recall that event and see everything about that event that stressed you out. And if you can see, just make a little picture in your mind and just relax and recall that event and see what you saw. And keep breathing and notice all the details that you can. And now hear any words that you heard. Were they words other people to other people's words to you, your words to them, your words to yourself inside your head? What did you hear? And keep recalling that situation and feel what you felt. Where did you feel it? And are you having any thoughts about that situation? So go ahead and just see it and hear it and feel it and think about it. Keep holding your forehead lightly, keep breathing, And in about 30 seconds, what happens is people cannot really focus on that challenge, that event anymore, or they take a great big breath. And when that happens, you just take your hands off your forehead. And welcome back. Blink
That,
3 times if that was cool.
yeah, this is crazy because I did a different experience, and I got to a point where I was doing it, and I before you even said losing focus, like I was already like I was having a hard time like staying in that space, and immediately ended up on a golf course. Like I immediately was like hitting golf balls, and I go, oh, okay. I mean,
That's a little more my jam. So,
yeah,
Tony, you did the advanced version.
okay,
Okay. So, what ends up happening is day by day. Let's say you just walk out of a meeting and you've seen people do this,
yeah,
right? They go,
yeah, yeah,
oh. So, what if you did it with intention? You did it lightly and you just recalled things, fast forward, just go through it in about 30 seconds.
yep,
You drain that stress out of your body. It's gone. So, you still have all the memories, you have all the learnings. That's just the stress hormones aren't running around in you.
yeah,
Now, what happens if you keep holding your forehead and go, okay, well, I can't really feel that stress anymore? But thinking about it or recalling it, how would I have liked it to have turned out? Because it's in the past, but just imagine a different ending. Because just imagine you're, famous movie producer and you can do anything you want. You got the budget and you can make it end any way you want. Do you want to be walking off into the sunset with your dog? Do you like, what is it? Your favorite loved one? Sometimes that's a dog for some people.
yes,
Or, just do you want to be leaving the meeting laughing and joking and shaking hands and saying, I'll see you next week. It's going to be great. Don't worry. Everything will be fine. Like, how do you want this movie to end? And so when you're still holding your forehead, you're
hmm
talking to, first of all, what's happening is this part of your brain here in the front. This is your prefrontal cortex. It's picturing things, it's imagining things, it's working out solutions to things, and then it talks to the back brain. So when a person is really stressed, have you ever seen people that go white with fear?
yeah, oh yeah,
What happens is the blood flow leaves the front part of their brain, and all the blood flow goes to the brain stem and all the little primitive survival centers. And some of them, I've been told, are the size of a walnut. So, do you want to go through the rest of your day or possibly the rest of your life accessing that much of your brain that's the size of a walnut and be reactive to everything? Or do you want to be able to engage and make better decisions and have different choices? So,
mm,
literally, what this is doing is it's bringing blood flow to the prefrontal cortexes. They've seen this on people go, this isn't scientific. Well, you know what? I won't talk about it here. There are studies that show what happens when they inject people with radioactive dye and they touch points on the head. And yeah, that's pretty scientific, especially when people die for the research because they're get radiation poisoning back in the 30s and stuff when this
mm.
stuff was being researched. So would you rather have access to your forebrain, that's your current human, mankind, I'm going to find a solution brain, or do you want to be in your dinosaur brain all the time? So this one technique by itself, as simple as it appears, is powerfully simple.
I love it, and it's immediate, and for people that that have to have that immediate sense of accomplishment or that sense of, oh my God, this really works. I love it because I somehow just without even knowing what was going on, like somehow my brain wanted to shift out of that and change the narrative basically. And what I love about what you're saying, this little simple act of doing this is you're really it's actually a real powerful thing because you're actually wanting to sit with it for a second and work through it. And you're working through it in a very simple way. And again, that technology that's in the body, like you said, you can change the outcome. You can change the feelings by just changing what you're seeing and how you want it to be. That is like a ninja. That's like, you know, stuff that's just so next level. And then until you do this and practice it, you'll never know. You'll go, oh, it's too wishy-washy, it's too this, and you know, I have headaches and I have stress, I'll just take medication, which is, you know, a lot of people do that. And when I'm sharing with you, oh, is this opportunity that we can do this ourselves. It doesn't have to be difficult. We just have to be willing with the right intention and do this type of work.
You
So
bet. Do it
I
in the
love it.
morning to program your day for calmness. Do it at night to
Wait, wait,
ditch
wait,
any
wait, wait,
stress
hold
that
on.
collected.
So jump in real. So what you're saying is this is something you can do to stay positive since we're in the positive playground. So you could literally do this and, you know, describe what that looks like. Because everybody here that's on this call, no one on this is negative. These are all positive. Nothing's ever
Oh,
wrong.
sure. Nobody has anything wrong in their
Nothing.
lives. Not a
That's the
single
goal.
one of them.
Nothing. So let's say they're all in this beautiful state, and
Yes. What if?
we want to condition ourselves to do that. So let's talk about the proactive stuff that we can do with this type of technique and the stuff that you do. How can we be
3 stories. I'll
proactive?
keep it as short as
You
possible.
got it. You got it.
One, I was with a mother's group. They had fussy babies, all that, and I was teaching them how to do their own muscle testing to find out what baby formula to have or what foods were in their diet that was making the baby fussy. So muscle testing is very practical. And I did this with the audience. And again, weird looks. One woman was just like, oh, like just, whoa. And I go, anybody want to share? And she says, I see a future for myself. And I went, well, that's cool. She says, you don't understand. Me and a group of about 11 women just got a guy brought to jail because he knew he had AIDS and he had sex with all of us and gave us all AIDS. And I have, you know, I got pregnant with before knowing I had AIDS. And I actually saw myself walking down the street into, you know, the proverbial sunset, holding my child's hand. And I feel like I have a future. So how positive is that? To do this technique and be able to see a truly happy ending that's not just today. Somebody else used it before going to the dentist. Total fear of the dentist. And I'm going, yeah, you know, think about going to the dentist and think about the sounds and the smells and what you're thinking and how tense you are and all that stuff. And then the next time she went to the dentist, back in the days when people used to write checks for their appointments instead of the, you know, tap with the card or,
I know
you
what
know,
that
the
is.
Apple Pay or whatever they use now. She's writing the check and realized I'm standing at the desk writing the check and it's been a nothing event. She's out, done, and she never had one iota of stress.
Oh,
And a nephew of mine was practicing for a Royal Conservatory of Music, that the highest grade that they have. It's a big deal. They have like 400 people who've been studying piano since age of 3 in there, and they're playing these pieces. And he had practiced for about 6 months or more on this piece. And I got to hear him play, and he sat down, he's vibrating. He says, Aunt Denise, I've never played that piece of music without making a mistake before. And I'm going, wow, that's my nephew. And it was beautiful. And he says, I've never done it so well. I've been practicing so the night before, he just did this and envisioned himself going in and waiting his turn and going up and bowing to the judges and playing his piece, bowing to the judges and coming and sitting down again and imagining the gold certificate. And guess what he got?
The
He
gold
got
certificate.
the
Oh my
gold
gosh.
certificate. And he says, my father will never believe this when I bring this home because I have never gotten better than bronze ever. And here I am at the last and highest level exam and I got a gold. And I'm just like, you go and you use that technique every day in your life in every way that you can apply it and teach it to other people.
So beautiful. I teach the law of assumption to people, right? So assuming you already have this, and so it goes hand in hand with this, and this is next level. So this adds another layer to that because of the science behind, you know, the points and all that. So how amazing! I mean, how amazing you are as a human being to be walking this planet, to have this technology, to have this wisdom, and have this passion for what you do to teach others this, and be able to get people, you know, on a path of, you know, peace and harmony and balance and what it feels like to feel good, again. And it's such a gift to have you on the show and be able to share this. So I'm going to put in the description how we can get a hold of you. And for anybody that wants more information on how to take this online course or reach out to Denise specifically, you guys, please, please, please do this, because the goal of what we're doing collectively with this show and everything else and the people that are coming on is to become the best versions of ourselves we possibly can be. And it doesn't have to be the way that we were programmed or told from other people. We can do a lot of this discovery of how to heal ourselves or put ourselves in a beautiful state of bliss if we would just like be open to it. And my goal is to make sure that I'm bringing to you all things that are different, if you're open to it, that you can latch onto, that can change your life. And I know Denise's work, your work does that. Anything you want to share with anybody? Is there um, anything that you like to share, like give people encouragement to give this a shot? Because you've seen so many wonderful things happen, and you're probably a lot like me as a hypnotherapist. People would come to me as a last resort, like, gosh, I hope this works, and you're my last thing. Otherwise, I'm. So, is there any words of encouragement or anything that you feel that would help somebody get to the place where they're starting to feel amazing in their life?
First of all, I see people sometimes that, when they come to you being in place of last resort,
Yeah.
they basically are feeling hopeless and saying, this is the last kick at the can. And I want people to have hope that somewhere in the world, there is the right thing to help you. Keep seeking, keep looking, keep getting up, keep breathing, keep pulling the world your way until you pull what you need to you. And I also want to let people know that healing can happen anywhere, and it can happen more rapidly than you can possibly imagine. And yes, I know I don't see a lot of people who've been in, I have seen people in severe uh, motor vehicle accidents and stuff like that. Yeah, okay. So, you turned into a jigsaw puzzle for a little while. However, there's a possibility of regaining your most optimum potential when you work with energy healing and blend it with the Western stuff. It's a really good combination. So find somebody in your neighborhood to do that. And also, when you asked earlier, can people learn this for themselves? I am running a webinars, 1-hour webinars called Mind and Body Tuning.
Mm.
And I really am aiming for wellness professionals to attend that, to learn a way of working with bodies that they can bring into the clinic right away without learning everything about muscle tuning, but going, okay, there is something going on here. I might want to go dig deeper into that. So I'm giving taster events, and I'd be happy to share the link to the landing page. Right now it's planned twice a month for the next 3 months, and I intend to continue that forever in some way, shape, or form. There's always going to be a way to learn, have an introduction to muscle tuning. And so I'll share that link for your show notes. And so just one of the things I want to get through to people's who are already therapists, get out of your own way and believe that change can happen faster than you could believe, like previously envisioned. I know that sentence didn't really make sense.
No, it did. Oh, it did.
Just believe, because I have seen this. I've done demos on physiotherapists and massage therapists and just regular walking around human beings going to a 9-to-5 job. And they go, what the hell just happened? And the sense of satisfaction to get that reaction out of them, I mean, that makes this job so fun. So when people see something shift that fast, just trust and know and believe. And we love to say, switch on the muscles first. So I had a lot of parting words. Thanks for giving me that. But really switch on the muscles first, and then go do whatever it is you want to do, whether it's go play a round of golf or whether it's go get your whatever therapy or go to the gym. When you switch the muscles on first, your body responds much faster because it's getting a clearer signal of what's expected of it.
And then when you start feeling good, you start to change. If your health is not good, if your health is not in check, it doesn't matter what potential breakthrough you're looking for in your life. If you don't feel good, if you're dealing with pain, if you're dealing with discomfort, you're never going to have that feeling of, oh my gosh, life is great right now. But I have this and I have that, right? So we don't want any yeah buts in life. We don't want to go, I feel amazing, but I've got this thing going on with my knee. I got this thing. So Denise, I love you. You said something, and I want to say this because this might be a t-shirt or might be something you and I can work together on. Get out of your own way and go play. That's what that's what I want us to do. That's the big message. So we went all of that, you guys, to tell you, you got to get out of your own way and you got to go play. And you do that by you learning things like this that may not make sense. But there's a reason why you're listening to this, and I know this can help you. So Denise, I want to thank you for what I felt from you, which is truly your willingness to serve others. And I love the fact you've got stuff that people, if they're interested, they can latch on to you. And, you can be a therapist and learn something and add something new to your menu, or you can just be a regular person and say, I want to learn this. I want to learn something different. Maybe you're into meditation. Maybe you're into, all these different modalities, breath work and things like this. This could be another thing, another tool, another resource that you add to your superhero tool belt and go out there and just have a very positive life. So thank you guys very much. I'm excited you got to spend time with me today. Please share this, and we'll see you in the playground very, very soon. Thank you, Denise. You're a goddess.
Be strong, be confident, and be tuned.
Ooh, tuned. All right. Bye, y'all.